This is why I'm so happy that I relaunched this channel. And I'm so happy that I get to tell you the weird and wonderful stuff that I see on the internet. Mate, this is absolutely crazy. For me, anyway. Like, okay, so maybe you've been in a fight once upon a time in your life. Maybe a few fights. Maybe you're a professional fighter, UFC fighter, a boxer, whatever. All right? Sometimes you get away out of a fight and you're harm free. You're not a scratch on you. Okay, usually what happens when I'm in a fight, if I've ever been in a fight. Okay, but this poor guy. Now you're not gonna believe what happened to this poor guy. Like, this is, you can't make this up, right? You can't make this up. So anyway, there's been times, I'm sure, in fights where somebody's got something nearby just to use as a weapon to protect themselves or just to literally do damage. Would you pick up chopsticks? Right? If the only thing that you could reach for that could protect yourself or fend off somebody like attacking you was a pair of chopsticks, would you use them? If the answer is yes, what would you do with them? I mean, I've seen videos of people putting things where they shouldn't be putting things. But would you get those chopsticks and shove them up somebody's nose into their brain? No? Well, that happened to this guy, and he didn't even know anything about it. Trust me, listen, okay? I'm going to show you the pictures. Right, it's pretty gruesome. But look, this is the story. A man had chopsticks shoved in his nose, lodged into his brain for 5 months. But he had no idea. After suffering with severe headaches, fluids, discharge, and even loss of vision, the unnamed man from Vietnam was rushed to emergency room at hospital. The 35-year... 5 months, ladies and gentlemen, okay? This person had chopsticks in his brain for 5 months. The 35-year-old was asked by doctors if there was any indication of what might be causing his symptoms, but he was at a loss. He was like, I don't know. I don't know why I'm getting these headaches, mate. Staff at the Cuba Friendship Hospital in the city of Dong Hoi, Cang Binh province, carried out a CT scan to get to the bottom of the problem, and the results were bizarre. They didn't only discover that he was suffering from tension pneumophocotheus, I can't pronounce that word, an unusual but life-threatening neurosurgical emergency normally caused by head trauma, but medical experts also came across broken chopsticks which were penetrating into his skull from the nose when he was examined on November 24th. Mate, the broken chopsticks can be seen in the 3D rendered TC scan, and they had been lodged into his brain from his nose. The family believe the chopsticks must have made their way up his nose when he was involved in a fight around 5 months ago. He was injured and taken to hospital at the time, but the chopsticks were not found and no abnormalities with the nose were reported. The patient bemused, oh my God, I've just seen these chopsticks, man. The patient was bemused when doctors came across them, saying he didn't remember exactly what happened in the fight, although he said he thought something had been stabbed into his face. Mate, imagine feeling that. Imagine feeling something's been stabbed in my face and you don't know what. How the hell? It's not only like putting them up there. Couldn't you like feel like you would have to really lodge them up there, unless there was some sort of vacuum that like the brain just sucked the chopsticks in to you. Like, how weird is that? Now he believes that the other man must have stuck the chopsticks into his nose as they scrapped. After a conclusion, doctors performed an endoscopic surgery through the nose to remove them. He remains in hospital in a stable condition while undergoing recovery treatment. Dr. Nguyen Van Man, head of the department of neurosurgery, said it was a very rare case. A very rare case. Of course it's a rare case, mate. Have you ever seen anything like that? Look at these pictures, mate. Look, first of all, that is the 3D image of the chopsticks in his head. Look at it. 1, 2. And then look how long these chopsticks are. What the actual F, mate? I wonder if that's done any whereabouts in the brain did that strike and go into? Can you remember that scene on Hannibal Lecter when that guy is sat in the chair and he's got the top of his head cut off, right? And then Hannibal Lecter is just scooping bits of his brain out of him and eating it and frying it up, wasn't he? And then when he was getting to certain parts of the brain, he was like, oh, mate, how? Oh, mate. And the other one where, what was it? Dead End? When the woman gets her head, part of her head, her skull blown off. And then she goes to feel it. And then obviously she's feeling something which is turning her on, and she's rubbing her brain like that, and she's sort of orgasming it. What the mate? Okay, my head is going off now, man. What? I wonder. This. It's so. How dangerous is that? It could be either really dangerous, or he could end up being just imagine if he could end up being some sort of superhuman now, because it just activates something in his brain where it just sort of the brain just ends up overworking on a certain part. I don't know, mate. I don't know. But it's what's the other film with John Travolta when he falls over and the light hits him, and then he wakes up. And then he can sort all these problems out, and then he can do telekinesis and stuff. That was an amazing film, mate. That was an amazing film. What was that called? I can't remember, but anyway, yeah. I saw that and I was like, oh my god, I've got to tell you, it's a bit of a different one, I know, but what do you think? If you were ever in a fight now, are you going to think twice before reaching for chopsticks? If you see somebody running up towards you with chopsticks, are you going to run like the wind? Are you going to go for Indian food now instead of Chinese food? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.